Hello, everyone, and welcome to a little bit of this and that, a show that's a little bit about everything. I'm Aaron, and today on my first show, I'm joined by my amazing and gorgeous best friend, Jenna. She's a fur mama of three beautiful and adorable fur babies, and just an amazing woman in general. So let's get this show started. There you are. Oh, looking all gorgeous
Oh, shut up.
as always.
Shut up.
Even in my intro, I said you're my amazing and gorgeous best friend.
Oh, thank you.
I
Love
do
you,
too. Look at us finally starting a little inner. You coming on a? I don't know. Look at us.
Look at us now. Look at us now.
Oh,
If we only knew what we knew like 10 years ago and where we'd be
we
today.
only looked like this 10 years ago. I feel like we
Seriously,
look
though.
better now than we did 10 years ago.
We do. We definitely do.
All right. Well, we'll just jump right into it since we've already started. I'm recording, just so you know.
Okay.
All right. Welcome, Jenna.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, I do the same thing. You are the same person.
The same.
Like that's when I say hello, everyone. I'm like, I have to have hand movement,
Hello, everybody.
right? Well, this is the first show of a little bit of this and that.
Well, I'm glad to be the first, what would you call me, guest on the
Yes,
show today.
even co-host, because I'm hoping you'll come back many, many times.
Yes, absolutely. We'll see. We'll see how this goes though first.
Well, you
We'll
look
see.
gorgeous. I mean, look at her.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Always
Love you
beautiful.
very much. You look very handsome as well.
Thank
Very dapper.
I try. I just threw on, I just threw on this.
It's all right. It's all right. I know. I just threw this on. My hair is just this way too. I just roll out of bed looking like this every morning.
I mean, she really does. I've never seen her look
You're very
anything
sweet.
but beautiful.
I
I'm not
I
lying. That's true. Like anytime I've ever seen you, even, at your worst, you say, I'm still like, oh my God, you're gorgeous.
well, and that's why I love you. You're such a great support system.
I just thought we'd start off talking about a little bit about our friendship. You know,
Okay.
we've
Well,
been friends for
10,
12.
9,
No,
9. Wait, no, I was married, so
so that was
maybe about
20.
9 or 10 years.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
a decade.
Yep.
Us.
Well, and look, we haven't aged a bit. I mean, we do. We keep getting better with age.
I think so too. I think we are rocking the 30s. What
We
did they
really
say on
are.
uh that movie, Jennifer Gardner?
Oh, on my birthday last year, I had to watch 13 going on 30.
That's it. We're 30 and thriving.
Yes, 30, flirty, and thriving.
That's it. See, this is why we're friends, because we know all these same things.
Seriously, though.
The story of our friendship is actually quite funny. We were both broadcast majors and we didn't even know each other, but we were talking about an entertainment show or something. And it was like, oh, here, let me get out my e-app. This was back when you like said things like you announced you had the e-app.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Like, you have the e-app? Well, of course.
Did we just become best friends? Yeah.
And that started a beautiful friendship. And then when we had our first movie night, we watched Scream and
Yes.
could quote all these same parts. So we were just like, we're best friends.
Forever and ever. And then when I found out that you love Jawbreaker too, it just like the bond was solidified.
And Troop
Yeah.
Beverly Hills and
Yes.
all those 80 classics, which is, kind of what we're going to talk about today too, is just some of our favorite movies.
Because I don't know, literally, you're the only person in my circle that enjoys the same types of movies that I enjoy. And I'm like, that's so weird to find. And when you find that, you have to like hold on to it, never let it go.
Anytime we have a movie night, we're like, which one are we watching? We don't choose new, we keep it classic.
Absolutely.
So that's just how it, she's the Rhoda to my Mary.
No. I'm the Mary.
No, I'm the Mary.
I'm the Mary.
I had to work that in somehow because we're big Romy Michelle fans.
Yes, that has to be.
Yeah, I'm the Michelle to her. I'm the Michelle to her Romy.
Yes,
Kinda-
that is It is what it is,
Yeah.
but I'm the Mary.
That's fine. I'll be the Rhoda. I've never said that before, but
I know. All right, that's
yeah. So another movie we just absolutely love is Trip Beverly Hills.
yes.
Phyllis Niffler is, oh, I want to be her for Halloween still one year.
Yes. And I could be because I have the red hair.
You have the red hair.
I have the red hair, and I could just, all I need to do is get a little like light perm, get the little fancy hat and the little outfit with the little fake cigarette. I'll be good to go.
I can picture it. I mean, I really can picture it.
I definitely should be her for, I've never even thought of that.
What? How have you not thought about that?
Because I'm not, honestly, I love Halloween because I love to watch horror movies. I hate the dressing up aspect and I don't know. I hate the aspects of it.
Well, the great thing about Phyllis is her outfits were kind of just everyday use.
Yes.
Everywhere, just wherever.
And I love the 80s like puff sleeves. I think those are actually.
I would love I never thought I'd love the late 80s fashion as much as I do. I've been watching a lot of 80s stuff recently and I love it. I'm like, okay, you can come back.
Yeah, no, that's, I mean, I'm always 80s with like my big hair. I'm always rocking the big hair.
With your, what's that hairspray you use? Big sexy.
Big sexy hair, because the higher the hair, the closer you are to God.
It's true.
I mean,
and in this day and age, we need to be closer. No.
Yes, we do. Forgive us, Jesus.
Because the world is crazy.
Yes.
Jenna's the girl that can make me do anything and I just do it.
Yes.
She's that friend that I go there.
You know, it's okay though. That's our friendship. Like, you have to have a friend that like helps you like test the boundaries.
And you do that.
Get you out of your comfort zone.
Actually, you're probably one of the reasons I'm as this. There's not even a word for it. It's just open and out there. I was always such a quiet little person. Well, I wasn't little. Not to weight shame or anything like that, but I was a little bit bigger back then.
Yeah. Lush and beautiful.
There we go. Lush and beautiful. I love it. Oh,
absolutely.
So, but you were always kind of like my protector too. Remember that time we went to the movies?
Oh my gosh.
Guy
yes.
Showing me a penis on his phone. And I was like, I am a good gay.
I'm a good boy. I'm a good gay boy. I jumped down his throat so bad. No.
I loved it. The
if
people
you were
around
in my circle, if you were in my circle, do not mess with my people. Do not mess with
friendship you need, because a lot of people don't have friends like that. And we've had some rough patches, but that's
neither here nor there.
But that's what makes us so beautiful, is we keep coming back.
Exactly.
I mean, in our little Romeo and Michelle type movie, you have to have a rough patch so you can come back stronger.
Exactly. You have to have the dream sequence of being old ladies and telling each other that you hate each other and that I'm the Mary. And then you wake up and you realize that someone's being
oh my gosh.
And you have to go protect them.
And I take my fault because a lot of times it was me and because of a guy, but that's not there.
I'll let you take your fault.
That's how we love it.
I'll let you take that one. I'll let you take that.
I mean, I have to own that one.
It's all right. Because I forgive and I forget, and I think
that's the thing about friendships. It's good that you can do that.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm not friends with a lot of people from college still. I mean, we had a close circle, and while we're still friends, life happens. But you and I have been able to, we stick it out.
We do stick it out. And when you find someone that you connect with on that type of level, like you can't lose that type of relationship. I was bragging about you last night to my brother's girlfriend, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, you need a husband, because they're the ones that do the things with you that your husband doesn't want to do. They're fabulous. Everyone needs a husband. Every girl needs a husband.
I agree. It's you get the best of both worlds if you.
You really do, because the things that.
Like my fiance and your husband are kind of similar in senses that they like their gaming. They don't like the things we like.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. We love that about them. That's what makes them So
That's what makes them wonderful, because we needed like manly men
mhm.
to take
I
to take
dated
care of
someone.
us.
I dated someone similar to me a few times, and I was like, hmm,
Not,
I'm a lot to handle.
yeah,
I can't have two.
like two of me is too much. And then it's
I
like
mean, well, actually,
we
three
already
of us. I
have
was going to
two of
say it'd be like
us.
three. I can't. We can't
No,
have a third. We're not a thirple.
no,
It
that's
doesn't
like
work.
it's two's only.
Mhm.
Like, and with both of us, that is like plenty.
Yeah.
The room is going to be too full of the
Mhm.
hyper energy and the big hair and the beautiful outfits and the big egos, and we just no no no.
Oh, and those egos can be big. I mean,
There
we
you
were
go.
broadcast majors, and that comes with the territory. You
Yes,
know, you like attention.
you have to. If you're going to be in front of a camera, you have to like being
Yeah.
on the camera, and you have to like attention to some degree. And
The funny
but
thing is, though, I don't think any of our friends work in broadcasting.
no one, no.
We all have these broadcasting degrees.
Well,
If you
that's
know
what's
one.
like. I mean, and you and I both work in higher education. I
Mhm.
mean, but you earned your master's in was it multimedia
Yes. So, I mean,
journalism?
technically, kind of what I do, and then what I do on the side is
Yeah.
my degree. So it works out. And then your degree was in college student personnel. Is that what it was called?
Yes. Yeah. And
So,
so
like,
like so it's weird
it's,
that we went from
we got there.
broadcasting. Well, we're in higher ed now, but yeah, like none. I don't think anybody, because like we had someone work in security,
Mhm.
uh, like working for like restaurants. Yeah,
And it's crazy because when we were working, we had this thing called Tech TV. It's where we did we produced live shows as college students without really adult supervision.
yeah.
I don't know how we made
And
that
so
happen.
sometimes that wasn't always the best, and
Uh,
we would get in trouble.
but we all just they were all like all of our friends were very talented in it too, and it just
Yes,
life just took us different ways.
it
I
just.
don't
I
think
mean,
it would change anything by any means.
no. Well, and I always say, like, for me, I just, during my internship, I just remember walking in and literally I had a gut feeling. I said, nope, this isn't for me. Like,
We
I,
we we had similar experiences because I remember doing my internship and I was like, well, this was fun.
I just wasted 4 years of my life.
Yes, that's exactly how I felt. And then I remember I was like, well, maybe it was just my internship because I was young and that, and I tried working in broadcasting for a few months.
Yeah.
I went, well, that was fun. This isn't for me.
No.
I just there's already too much bad stuff happening that
Yeah.
I don't like. Like they would get so excited in the newsroom when, oh my gosh, there's a shooting downtown or there's a
Yeah.
tornado. I'm like, you're too happy about that.
It's too
Uh,
much. I remember I interviewed up in Fort Smith, and one of the questions I had in my interview was, how would you handle having to go tell a family member to like go interview that their son just died? And I'm just thinking in my head, I don't want to do that.
yeah, it's
That was like the only interview in my entire life that I purposefully bombed, because when I was in there, I was like, no,
yeah.
no, no, sorry, no.
Yeah.
This is not for me.
I mean, I think it's we all like a lot of our friends and us, we had dreams of entertainment reporting and like sports reporting. But to get there, you have to do that really hard, sad stuff.
I know.
And that's just not, I don't think that was any of our friend group. Like we were
No.
very live. We loved it. It was fun.
Yes. And it's a very, very toxic and stressful environment. And if you already deal with stress and anxiety on the reg, bringing that into your work as well is just not a good combination.
Yeah, I
And I
don't.
think that's why a lot of people ended up not sticking with it.
Mhm. But it was fun and it really gets
Yes.
you out of your comfort zone and you get to meet people and we're all very talkative. I know that's for sure. So it was one of those things. It's like, it's funny how life takes you,
To different
think you have a
places.
plan and then you're like, ooh, I, but there are times I wish I wouldn't have spent 4 years 7 years studying something that
Oh, I know.
uh,
But at least I'm kind of to a point where I'm like, just get your degree and then
mhm.
follow your passions. If you don't know what you want to do, it's always best just to have that
Well,
in your back pocket. So if you have a job that you want to apply for that just has like a bachelor's degree as a requirement, like you're good, you're solid. There you go.
one thing I've noticed, a lot of people I work with don't have degrees in what they're like. My boss has an English degree, but
Oh, yeah.
that works for public relations because he's writing a lot of news releases and things like that. So
Yeah.
it works. So, and then, social media,
What?
we had social media, but we didn't have it like it is today. I'm not trying to,
No.
but that's my career. And that's kind of been like you learn as you
You
go.
learn as you
We
go
didn't
too.
have any classes with social media.
No, and like they just now they've just started to incorporate more classes with like a social media emphasis, which I'm like, well, that's good because that's the direction things are going. I kind of wished that there was more of a PR masters or something, or like more of a print masters offered, so
Mhm.
that way, like I thrive more in that element because it's still like you get to be in front of people, but you're not having to, you know, do things that make you uncomfortable every single day.
Well, now you got a promotion recently, which
Yes.
you'll kind of be guiding students in some sense,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Is that gonna like how are you gonna take your experiences that you've learned? Because when I went to school, I was a kind of my uncle was the closest one to me that had graduated. He graduated in 94 from
Hmm.
Arkansas Tech. And I was 2005 when I started. So I
Yeah.
was still kind of like a first generation student. What kind of
Yes.
advice do you give to students like that? Because you're
Those are actually some of my favorite students because they come in with a blank slate. They don't know what to expect. So they really take your advice and they move forward with it because sometimes, I'm not a first generation student. So both of my parents graduated college and my brother graduated as well. So I kind of had a lot more knowledge than someone coming in as a first generation student. And those are my favorite parents to speak to also because they're just so curious and they want to know as much as possible and they have a great attitude about things.
and they're
And
so proud of like their
yes,
baby's going to college and is going to
yes.
better themselves.
Yes, and that's a part of my job is to make sure that students that I see will be taken care of to the best of my ability. So I can get them from point A to point B and make sure that I am that go-to person that they can always feel comfortable speaking to because I've been there. Like even though I'm not a first gen student, I've been there. I changed my major 7 times in school.
Ooh, I was
Yeah.
scared. I was scared to change mine. I was like, oh my God, it's gonna put me behind. I'm gonna be in college until I'm 30.
No, and see, I still graduated on time as well, and I'm like, it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to make mistakes. Just bounce up from them, and just know that you have people in your corner that are going to support you no matter what.
We had a professor that he scared me so much, like right before I graduated, like I'm not gonna be able to find a job because jobs were just the
Yeah,
recession and blah blah blah. I was like, oh my God, I'm not leaving college.
I
So
know,
I stayed an extra year just because I was so scared.
and that's like not. I don't know. You should encourage your students to move forward. You shouldn't instill that fear in them because regardless if there's a job out there or not, pay your dues. Start somewhere lower on the totem pole and work your way up while you're trying to find something better because you build that experience, and in life you need that experience in order to thrive.
Well, this same professor, I don't hold too much what he says to heart anymore because he told a friend, like right before graduation, like since I wasn't going into broadcast, I was wasting all my potential. And I was just
Oh
like,
yeah.
the friend, I was like, you could have not told me that because
Yeah.
thank you. Because one, it's coming from him to you to me. So I was just like, no, what? I'm going to prove you wrong. Granted, it took me a little bit longer to prove him wrong, but I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I have a pretty successful career. I'm starting this new journey that I'm really loving. And that's why I always say it's never too late. I thought at 30, I was like, man, I haven't accomplished anything I wanted to accomplish.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing other people online. And then with the pandemic, other people were going, you know what? I'm making my dreams happen, no matter their age. So,
Exactly.
because sometimes in the
Well,
South, you get put in this like, you go to school,
Hmm.
You graduate, you get a job, you get married, you have a baby,
Yeah.
and you're in this little just kind of, this is what you're supposed to do. And I said, screw that.
That's, well, and it's true though, but I take all of my experience that I had with broadcasting, and even though I didn't stick with that, if I hadn't started with that, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I'm so
See,
thankful for
mhm,
all of my experiences that I had with broadcasting, because I wouldn't have the people that I still have in my life. I never would have met you,
mhm.
and I never would have landed my master's in CSP and now working at my alma mater and being so happy and grateful that I'm able to do something that I love every day.
See, I remember I worked at this local news station, and I hated it. Like the schedule was like, there was no set schedule. It was like Wednesday through Friday was 4:30 to 12, and then Saturday was 6 to something. It was, and
Yeah,
it just, I was like, this is miserable. I don't want to do it. But had I not left that job to go back and get my master's, like I said, I wouldn't have met you. So like,
exactly.
I'm so thankful that I hated that job. And
Because
and
everything
someone who
happens for
got
a
the
reason.
job really loved it, because I mean, it was someone I knew.
Exactly. Well,
She was
and
so
that's
excited.
good. And that's good. And that's, I mean, that's why everything happens for a reason. I'm a firm
I
believer of
truly
that.
believe that. So, see, and these are the kind of talks we've always had. We make each other feel better. Anytime I would
Yes.
talk to you, I just always feel better afterward.
We boost each other up.
We
But that's
do.
what, I mean, that's what friends are supposed to do. They're just supposed to lift each other up every day, especially because, we aren't perfect and we struggle.
Mhm.
And if you know that you have that support system in your life, that can lift you up regardless.
I'm very much, friendships are like relationships. They take work.
Yes, they do,
Like,
because it's a two-way street and you can't have a one-sided friendship. You both have to put in the effort, because
and
if only one person is putting in the effort, it gets tired and tedious for the other one, and they're just like, peace out.
see, and I was a late bloomer to everything. So when I first started dating someone, I didn't know how to balance having my
Hmm.
best friend with this person who had moved to town and was like, I don't have friends. I don't want to be alone. I was like, but I want to spend just a little time with my best friend.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, but I don't like her. Like, it was kind of like, oh my God, what do I do? And I was like, I was young and just not wise about anything. So I'm so glad, like, those experiences have made me better.
But
But
yeah, but like it helped you learn and grow, and now you're with somebody that is amazing and loves everybody in your life and wants you just to be happy.
I know when we hung out recently, and when I saw that y'all two are getting along, I was like, yay.
Thank you
Inside,
so
I'm
much.
like, thank you, Jesus. Like
Please,
I'm
thank you.
I'm like, I'm not Catholic, but I'm
I'm
like,
not
thank you,
either. I do it
Mary.
too. I do it
Thank you,
too.
Jesus. Thank you, Buddha. Thank you. Everything up there that's working. Thank you, because
No,
it's
and like as soon
rough.
as I met him, I was just like, yes, this is who you have needed in your life. Like, I love him. He is perfect for you. He is so kind, and I think he just balances you out like
And
perfectly.
it's weird. I thought couples always fought, but like you and Adam don't really.
No,
Adam's your husband. Y'all don't really fight. But I
no.
thought, I was like, I'm never going to find that. Like I thought couples just. I've seen a lot of bad couples.
Yes, yeah, me too. Me too.
And John
Me
and
too.
I, John and I don't fight, and I'm just like, are we doing something wrong?
Yeah,
And I'm like, no, it's just because we get along and we're
that's
happy to be with each other.
exactly. And like it's normal to fight. Like we're not perfect by any
Oh,
means,
we're not either. I'm sure I've been
but
crazy.
it's not normal to do that on a daily basis
Yes.
where your life is starting to crumble because your home life isn't happy
Where
with your
every day you're
significant
thinking, are they
other.
going to pack their bags and leave?
Yes. Ride that alimony pony.
Oh, man. Oh, good times.
I know, right?
So I'm curious, like, you're really into fashion and beauty and things like that.
Hmm.
And you're someone that I'm like, damn, girl, you look good. What you using? So what's something that's giving you life that you can't live without it?
Oh, big sexy hairspray. Swear by that
That
through
has
and
been
through.
going on for what, over a decade?
Oh, well over a decade since I learned how to tease my hair in the 10th grade, 11th grade or so. I'm 31 now. So, yeah, a good
Don't
teasing
look it though,
comb.
does she? Mm-mm.
No. Oh, thank you. It's because I'm so pale and I can't go into the sun. That is why.
I
The
know.
skin does not tan.
I don't look as pale today, but I found a light that helps add a little.
Well, that's lovely because you look great and I look really dark right now. I literally have my iPhone flashlight on right behind my camera to give me a
Well, if
little
this
light.
is what you look like that, lighting, oh my God, I don't want to be on the same screen with you.
Oh, please put me there. Put me there, please. Yeah, but Laura Mercier has a really nice powder too. Swear by that through and through. Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. If you have bags under your eyes, gone. Those are like my, I swear, go-to products I cannot live
Do
without.
you, do you use any kind of like moisturizer or anything? Like we're getting to the
Yeah.
age where our skin, we're gonna get wrinkles. It's just gonna happen. It's life.
Yes.
What's something you use that you think is really useful
I
or
mean, honestly,
results?
I've used the same Clinique moisturizer maybe since I was in the ninth grade, and I
Okay,
love
so
it.
you started early, so that's why you're
Yes.
so beautiful. You're like, know what? I might not have no wrinkles, but we're not gonna wait.
No, no. But
Get your
like I
hair.
said, it's not going into the sun. That, like, I
The
think to
sun
me that
doesn't.
makes a huge
Yeah.
difference because I will burn like a lobster.
I was in the sun for just a little bit, like 90 minutes on a little boat cruise, and I forgot sunscreen. I know, really
Ooh.
bad. I forgot how pale I was, but
Mhm.
I felt it.
Yeah.
I
No.
learned what hell's itch was. I didn't know that was a thing. And I was like, it's itching. John's like, don't scratch it. I'm like, he's like, well, it's hell's itch. I'm like, that's a thing. I was like,
It is a thing.
I understand where it got its name because I was just like, every
It
time
is
when I
the
did it,
worst.
stopped.
That's well, we went to Jamaica in December and I had to buy like Land's End long sleeve shirts. I literally had hats on. We would get huts every day to sit under. And one day, somehow, I got the most, and mind you, I always get the most random sunburns. It's usually never like a full body burn. It's like a burn right here, or like a burn like on my neck or something. And I had like the most random strip burn on my leg that lasted, not even kidding you, 3 months. It
Oh
took
my.
3 months for it to fade. It didn't hurt, but you could still see the remnants. And
Well,
that's
and
like how strong.
I know you were covered up because you
Yeah.
FaceTimed me, and I was like, "You're
Yeah.
wearing a lot." She's like,
Yes. I don't want to burn. I like, and after I had my leg burned, I like had to have a towel over my legs. I'm
"Oh,
wearing my long sleeve shirt. I'm covered up. Everyone probably thinks I look crazy, but I'm like, I'm not getting burnt though.
see, this is why I have a soft spot for gingers because I know y'all struggle. Y'all
Yes,
struggle so much."
it's miserable. We had to go to Conway yesterday, and I was with my mom, and just walking outside, even like I don't do the sun, I don't do heat. I just
Oh,
my body does not respond to that. And I'm like about to die just walking from point A to point B. Like I can't, I'm not leaving my house again until October. I'm done. I'm going to work from home. I'm not leaving my house
you're not
ever
leaving
again.
until it's pumpkin spice season.
Seriously though, like I need to have all my fall decor out. I'm so ready to decorate for fall. By the way,
Um,
I went to Bath and Body Works on
oh,
the weekend of my birthday, and I bought all of the fall candles.
yay!
I'm so
I love the
excited.
fall scent. Oh, it's so good. I'm not a big pumpkin spice like coffee
No,
person, but I do love the smell of it.
see, I don't really like the pumpkin candles. I like more of like the sweater weather and the flannel and the
Okay.
autumn woods. And the only pumpkin candle I
Mhm.
actually buy is pumpkin apple. And
Okay.
that just like when I smell it,
It
like
warms your
all of
heart.
my yes, all of my anxieties go away in life, and I am in such a good mood. Oh, that
Okay.
is the best candle.
Well, I'm ready for the fall. Just one, my Halloween movies. I mean, I watch horror
Yes.
films all the time, but there's nothing like watch it in October.
No,
Actually,
and like
I
the
start
entire month of
September.
October, the entire month of October, that's all I watch is horror
And
movies.
I start in September because I'm like, if Christmas can start the moment Halloween's over,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's
then
me.
I'm starting
That's me. It's
Halloween as
like
soon as Labor Day's over.
exactly. That's why I still like I checked my calendar first of all to make sure that Adam would be off the first weekend of September. And I'm like, I'm decorating for fall. I'm like burning my first fall candle, and I can officially start all of the horror movies.
Yay.
Yes. Like I need a good and like typically the Halloween day I do a full binge of Scream. That's what I do all day.
Mhm. Okay, I was gonna say, what do you start with? But you just answered that. But that's the perfect one to start with.
Yes. Like
I mean,
those, Nightmare on Elm Street. What else? What else?
Halloween.
Oh, Halloween. Yes. Like I usually
Uh,
buy like the AMC subscription because they have all the Halloween movies on there, and then I just get rid of it after a month. And then I like will binge watch all the Halloween because the new Halloween movie is coming
oh
out.
yes, it's coming out. We'll have to.
Yes.
Well, Adam does horror. We may have to do a double date night or something.
Yes. Because we have to
Do
do
that.
Halloween and Scream.
Scream. We have been waiting for Scream since the moment Scream 4 came out.
Seriously though, in Scream 4,
I
I
loved
cannot even
it.
lie. It is up there with Scream 1 for me. I watched that one on repeat over
Uh-huh.
and over. And the music,
Yes.
oh
Oh, that first song they play, Something to Die For. I
yes,
have it on my playlist. I
I
play
do
it
too.
still. Is a song that I live for.
Well, and you know
Oh,
that
what
Bad
is it?
Karma is my
Oh,
ringtone, like when I wake up in the morning.
oh, look at you.
Yes, it puts me in a good mood. It's like you better believe in karma. You know, if you wake up in a sour mood, it's just like that's that karma song going for you.
So,
That is like the best music I've heard in a movie in a very long time.
speaking of Scream, are you upset it's not Scream 5, or are you okay that they did kind of like the Halloween thing where
What
they
did
just
they do? I guess I don't know much.
it's just called Scream. Like, it's
Oh,
not called Scream 5.
it's just Scream.
Yeah, it's just like kind of like what they did with Halloween. They're just, I think people, they're trying to break that, like, you know how there's 7 Halloweens. You're like, oh my God, Halloween 7. So they're
Yeah.
just trying to go with Scream.
Well, because like they had how like the newer how like not the newest Halloween movie, but the ones prior that Rob Zombie directed, and those are Halloween 1 and 2.
Mhm.
But the dynamic between the very first original Halloween and then Rob Zombies and then the newest one that just came out are like night and day.
Yeah, night and
All of them.
that new Halloween, they did a great job. So that's
Oh,
what I'm hoping, like the Scream will be just really just as good
yeah.
because
Well, and as long as they bring back Nev and Courtney and David,
see,
that's all that matters.
I think one of them's going to die. I just feel it. I know not all 3 of them
Oh,
survive. I feel like they can't.
well, oh, well, if they do, then I think that will be the end of the franchise. I do
That's what
because
makes them like. I don't care that Sydney's always being stalked. I just
no,
love Sydney.
exactly. That's me
I'm
too.
there for whatever she goes through.
And it's you feel for her. But see, we've been with these characters since when? 1996? Is that
Yeah,
when the first
and
one
I
was?
remember watching the first one on VHS.
Mhm.
That's how
Yes.
like,
That's and I remember the third one being in the movie theater and my friend's brother going to see it while we were having to see another movie and him coming out and telling us about I'll never forget that he's like, oh yeah, in this one scene like Courtney Cox and David Arquette are like tied in a chair together and they can't get out and the killer's like running around. Oh,
see, I'm different. Whereas I enjoy Scream 3. I know a lot of people hate it,
yeah,
but I like it.
it's not my favorite.
I mean, it's not like it's 1, 4, 2, 3. I mean, it's my least favorite, of course.
Yes,
But
but I
in
still
terms
like
of
to watch
film,
it.
I mean, I don't skip it.
No, I don't like when I do my marathon. I always just I go through 1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean, the writing is clearly a little different, but there was some behind the scenes drama and things like that. So,
Yeah,
uh, but
but still, my
I enjoy. I mean, we got the Parker, whoever plays the fake Gwen, the movie.
Parker Posey.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
I
yeah,
love her.
I do too.
I was like,
She's
oh, you could have been like Gail Weathers' sister.
I know, like especially when she's in all the scenes with like the hair and everything, like original Gail Weathers from like
That
movie
lime
one.
green dress. No, I
Yes.
don't think anyone else could pull that off.
Like, and you have to have the Clinique compact to like do the black eye. I always wanted like the Clinique like lipstick and like lip liner and like the little compact like be like Gail.
Mhm. Yeah, I always want. I was like, that's the kind of reporter I want to be, just without the murder.
Yes, exactly. There you go. And then and you know my favorite death scene of all of the Scream movies has to be Cece's from Scream 2.
Oh, Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
I love her death scene. She's very good.
that is just that is my favorite through and through.
She has two of my favorite deaths. Well, not Cece, but Sarah Michelle Gellar. I Know What You Did Last Summer. And
Yes.
I love her death scenes in both those movies because I just love that chase scene.
Yes.
Like, one, she's running around in that dress, and I don't know how she did it.
And heels.
And
like she eventually takes the heels off, but she's still going.
I remember thinking, girl, you're not going to survive. Ditch the heels. Ditch the heels.
No. And I just remember in Scream 2, she's running up the stairs, and I'm like, oh, it's over. Like, that's the point where you know you're going to die because
I was
you got someone chasing
like
you up the stairs.
When she pushes the bike down to try, I'm like, yeah.
You tried. Oh, my heart always like aches for it because I'm like, oh, girl, you're about to get a knife in the back, and then you're going to be thrown off the balcony. Mm-hmm. Oh, it makes me cringe every time, but I love it. It's so poetic.
I love how so dark you can be. I love it.
Yes.
Like,
I'm very macabre.
You're like very, just like.
It's the ginger in me.
Yeah.
I have no soul.
And spice.
I have a black heart and I have no soul. You know?
I don't think you have a black heart.
It can be sometimes. You say you?
Oh yeah. So, those are good. I'm so ready to go. I didn't get to experience Scream 4 with you because that was like right before our friendship started. So
yes, it was.
So sad that it's taken 12 extra years for us to be able to experience a Scream live together.
Do you remember the one movie that we've seen several together? The one that we actually like left in the middle because it was so boring.
We were the only people ever to not like Les Mis.
We went to Walgreens, bought all this candy. We were just heffing it out. And like all these people are getting into it. Me and you just kept looking at each other like, are they ever going to shut up and like talk?
And then it's been like an hour and a half. We're like, okay. Which I didn't. I guess I was young and stupid. I didn't realize true musicals were just
like
all singing. Everything was all singing. I was used to, I guess, our
Mamma Mia.
Yeah, my Mamma Mia, my Hairspray, my musicals like that. So when I go into Les Mis, and I'm just like.
We literally sat in there for like what an hour
and a half
or so. We're like,
we looked up how long the movie was and said, bye. I don't know how.
No.
I still
wasn't it 3 hours or something?
It was close to that. I was like,
I can't do it. I was like, no.
Titanic's the only movie that has been able to keep me that long.
Seriously, like I
haven't thought about Les Mis in forever.
I just remember us being in there with all of our food. And we just kept looking at each other going like, are they ever going to shut up?
Jenna would always ask like, you want me to bring the big purse? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I sneak in the goods, man.
I mean, we were college students. We were poor.
Yes. Well, I'm not going to pay no $20 for popcorn and
M&M's.
No, well, we would buy the popcorn there.
Oh yeah.
But you have to go to Walgreens.
You have to, yeah.
Exactly. But you go to Walgreens prior and you get like the 2 for $5s. We share the candies because that's all we can afford.
And even then, that was
pushing it, pushing the boundaries there.
Now I look back at them like, wow, I remember having to sneak candy in. Like I felt like such a rebel.
I know, though. I still like.
I mean, we didn't do really any. We're not the type to do anything bad.
I get anxiety doing like I remember one time I walked out of Walmart with a loofah I forgot to pay for, and I just started sweating. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to pay for this. They're gonna arrest me for a 79-cent loofah. I felt so guilty. So I had to turn around and like go in and give them like 79 cents because like, I'm so sorry, there was an attack on here and I just walked out.
I got you beat. Someone gave me an extra quarter, and I was like, I've got to go give it back to him. This is not my quarter.
I know.
So when I was like, you gave me too much, here's it. And I think the girl's probably like, really? I was like, I feel better. So that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Your drawers.
At least you could do the math. I probably wouldn't even been able to realize that I got an extra quarter with my great math skills.
Well, we were journalism majors.
I know. Lord, I will never forget. I don't remember whose class it was, but in one section, it may have been mass comm theory, maybe. And there was a portion in that class where we had to do math. And it wasn't like serious math, but there was something with like time. And I remember texting my dad and I was like, Dad, I got out of everything like math related and like chose journalism. So I didn't have to do math. And look what I'm having to do today. Like, what is this?
I can remember anytime like we'd all sit around, if someone had to do math, all you saw was phones coming out.
Yes. That's still me today. Are you kidding me?
If you want to see a journalist sweat, ask them a math problem.
Lord, I know. I sit there when I'm like filling out the tip for someone and I'm just trying to think, okay, I feel like I'm being rushed, but I need to double check and make sure that this equals like an even number and I don't go, oh, like, oh my gosh, that makes me so, I just let Adam deal with that.
I always go, John, is this right?
Yeah,
I know it's right, but just I'm like, check it.
Yeah, no, just please, because
I always just do it even. I'm like, know what? They can have a little extra. So, I don't have to do math.
I know. But even like when I do like the 30, if it's like 33.92 and I'm like, okay, I'll give them like $10. Wait, okay, 43.90. Yeah, okay, right? 10. Yeah, okay.
And that's what it looks like in a newsroom when someone's doing math.
Seriously, though, that's why we're journalism majors. We're not meteorologists. We would have been meteorologists, though.
It's funny. I see numbers all the time because of analytics and things like that. So, but I'm like, well, I don't really have to add, so it's okay.
No,
have to go. Yep, we up.
And I don't know. My father was an engineer, and he is like a mathematician. So God bless his soul for teaching me my entire life and the patience that man had for me, because like Adam tries to teach me that stuff now. Like if it's just like a simple math problem, and he gets so frustrated. I'm like, my daddy doesn't get frustrated with me. He taught me my entire life.
When I was a resident director, they'd be like, Aaron, were you good at math? I was like, oh no. No. I was like, if I even try to help you, I'm going to make it worse. Oh, your best bet is just to go to a tutor.
I totally forgot that you were an RD.
I know, it was a long 3 years.
I
mean, I love, like, it's weird. I'm like you, I loved working with the students in that.
Yes.
But I get so I'm sure you're the same way. I get so attached.
Oh yes.
Anytime I'd apply for a job, all I could think about was, oh my God, I'm leaving my children.
That's how I feel with like my student workers. Like whenever they leave me, I'm like, when you're graduating, don't leave me. Stay here forever.
I have been, one of my RAs got married recently, and I swear I almost cried at his wedding because I was there when they started dating. I was there when they got engaged. I was like, my baby.
I know. That's how I look. Like
they used to joke, and they'd call me Mama Wallace. So I'm just like, I'm like, we're having lunch this week, and I'm just so excited because I'm like, I miss some of them.
Yeah. Were y'all having lunch?
I have no clue because it's Little Rock, and I kind of just let people. I'm not
people pick.
I've worked there for over a year now, but I get 30 minutes, and if you were to drive anywhere and drive back, that's your lunch break. So I just take my lunch.
Yeah.
And then, but I'll take I'll do the full hour when we go to lunch, and I'll probably just like, you pick, and it's my treat because I try to do that with my children. I'm like,
yeah, I love in Little Rock, if you are a pizza person, Raduno. It's like kind of off the beaten path. It's over by the mall, but it is, if you like a margarita pizza, like a true to form, like where it's just like the light marinara sauce and like the chunks of like the mozzarella and like a thing of basil.
Just It's heaven.
Yes, 10 out of 10. I
Oh,
love
okay.
I love that.
Okay, I'll have to check that out for sure.
I don't really go to many places though because I go to the same places since I'm a vegetarian.
Yeah, well, it's so hard to be a vegetarian in Arkansas.
Yeah, like I would be
Fast,
vegan in a
fast,
heartbeat.
fast food or restaurant wise, it's just
Yeah,
like if you were in LA, you'd probably be like, oh my gosh, like all these great
I
restaurants.
would be if I lived in LA or New York, I would 100% be a vegan too. Wouldn't even bat an eye. But it is so difficult to have no options.
And I don't have the willpower you have because I did it for a week because it's when she first started because I was there. And I remember going, I don't know how you do this. I have nowhere to eat.
I know. And and that's when you lived in Magnolia. And you really had like no place to eat. You had like chicken restaurants.
There was chicken and Mexican restaurants pretty much everywhere. And I'm like, there's not even turkey burgers.
No. And like now we have Impossible Whoppers at Burger King. They're representing.
I'll have to
try those. I mean, I haven't had meat in 8 years, but like Adam likes them though. You can buy them at the store too, like the patties, and he'll grill them for me on the grill, and he actually likes them also. So
I'll have to give it a try sometimes. Yeah, because he's not a vegetarian, so
no, he comes from a family of hunters. So it's just like when we got married, I wasn't a vegetarian, and then like I transformed myself.
I still remember the time you told me you watched Knives and Forks or something.
It was Food Inc.
Oh, Food Inc. Okay.
Yes, because Becca, I'll never forget. Becca told me about it because she was a vegetarian, and she's like, "Just watch this documentary." And it was literally the week before Thanksgiving. I watched it and I said, "Nope, never eating meat again. I'm done. I'm tapped out."
She joined the 30 Club recently. I saw it on Facebook. That's the only reason why I know. She was like, something about not being in her 20s no more. I was like, oh, wow. Our friend group is slowly all getting in their 30s.
Welcome to our demise. Join my misery.
What's sad is I'm one of the older ones. So I'll hit 40 before. I mean, I'm not.
I think you are the oldest one in our like friend group though.
Yeah, because the master's program, we
were all undergrads.
Yeah, we're close in age, but still just far enough apart to where it makes a difference.
Yes.
So I remember, I was a little GA watching all of you work, and we all bonded.
But do you remember our very first show that we did?
The 411. I remember the shirt I wore, and now when I think back, I'm like, why did I wear stripes?
I'm pretty sure I wore I had a green top, and it kind of had like it kind of had the 80s puffy sleeve.
You had your hair like
here. And I was like, yes, and I was like 20 pounds overweight at that time because I'd just gotten married and I was in like marriage bliss. Like both of us, like that was before we lost weight.
Yeah.
And like granted, we've never been like really too big, but like for us it was uncomfortable.
When you were around a bunch of people that were always saying, well, you can't be on TV. I mean, That's the one thing that sucks about broadcast is they point out those. I don't think they do it as much now because it's not. But I just remember all the time being around all these skinny people and hearing our professors would be like, oh, they'll look good on TV. I'm like, I wonder what they say about me. Yeah. And that really affected me in not great ways.
Well, do you not remember that's when we used to like considered a Diet Coke as a meal? we would those so not good. We would like just drink. We would drink our Diet Coke.
It was so unhealthy. I wish I could go back to myself and just be like, slap out of it, do it healthy.
I know, because now I'm just like, I eat healthy, I enjoy my life, but hey, you know what? It's Saturday. I'm gonna go get French fries and mac and cheese from Chick-fil-A, and I'm gonna have a pizza tonight, and I'm gonna be a happy camper and live my life.
I'm sure some of my self-esteem issues that come from being a broadcast student as well, because we had those professors who'd be like, oh, well, they're going to have to work on their speech if they want to be a broadcaster. Yeah. I was just like, oh my gosh, it's his dream to be a sports broadcaster. And you're telling me he can't, don't tell me that. Because now I feel,
Well, I remember some of them being like, oh yeah, he'll never make it on camera. Like, no, I'm like, why are you telling me this? Like, why? Like, I'm a student right now. Why are you?
I'm sure they said that about me at some point because I was so shy, nervous, but I was like, no, I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone, so I'm just going to do it.
Yes. And
And
that's what's great. That's what I loved about broadcasting, though, is because it's so inclusive and it lets everybody try everything, at least, like, especially in our studio, like you had the chance to be on camera or be behind the scenes and see where you really found your like niche in life. And we got the opportunity to try all those different things. But yeah, I
but it
did.
can be very toxic too.
It was.
And they're very open about it too, like just commenting on people's looks. I'm like, real don't know. I mean,
That makes me uncomfortable because I'm like,
yes.
why are you telling me this? I'm a student. That makes me kind of uncomfortable that you're speaking about
Other
another
students, the
student
way they
to
look.
me.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah, I
no,
wasn't a. Mm-mm. And
no.
I know we both know who we're talking about, but I'm not going to
Yes.
say names.
Yes. No, no, no. No, no. So we do. We do. But but like you said earlier, I was shunned from that realm when I decided I didn't want to pursue it anymore.
Mhm.
And that, like, but I'm, in a way, I'm glad it happened because I don't think it would have given me the kick in the butt I needed to pursue where I'm actually passionate about and working with students. So
And that's all that matters.
exactly. I like to look at the positive because honestly though, without all of that, I would not be where I am today.
Yep. We are 30 and thriving,
30, flirty, and thriving.
plus plus a few years.
Oh, 31.
34.
At least we don't look. I still get carded.
I don't
No,
get
I'm good with that.
carded really, but I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I still dream that they will. In my head, I'm thinking, you're supposed to card me. Why aren't you?
Adam doesn't either, though, if that makes you feel better. And he's,
I also think it's where the area we're at. It's like,
yeah,
oh, they don't look too young. Whatever. Yeah.
no, I get carded every single time. And I don't even think about it now. I just pull out my ID and I'm just like, please, just, I don't even want to deal with it.
Because it depends on where I'm at. There are some places I do get carded,
Yeah.
but there are some places that are a little bit more just like you need to card me.
Yeah.
But I guess that's your job on the line, not mine.
I know. I like, it baffles my mind when they don't card you because I'm like, oh, well,
Oh, when I worked
that's why I just flip out.
for Walmart and they put me on the register with the cigarettes, I carded everyone. I didn't care how old you were. I was like, well, I need to see your date of birth. I just played it off as I need to see your date of birth so I can actually enter it.
Exactly.
Because they're like, I am 55. I'm like, congratulations. I want to see your ID because I am terrified.
I don't want to get fired.
Yeah.
I'm doing my job.
And it's illegal if you do sell to someone.
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
no, see, we are like, here we are returning the 25 cents in the loofah and making sure we card everybody.
I was like, I don't discriminate. I card everyone, no matter how old you are.
Yes. Like if I worked at a restaurant, I would card even like someone like my grandma's age.
I made so many 17-year-olds mad when I worked at Walmart because they would come get medicine. Yeah. And there are certain medicines you have to be 18 to buy. And they'd be like, it's cough syrup. I'm like, the computer says you got to be 18.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
I work at Walmart. I don't get paid enough.
Exactly. I work at Walmart, so I gotta keep my stuff up so I don't get fired and I don't lose my house.
They literally just told me when they kept me on full time that I would need to work more since they're having to cut my pay to make up the difference. I don't need this crap.
What?
Yeah, I got seasonal pay, and then when they didn't keep everyone on, but they kept me and someone else on.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, well, since it's not seasonal no more, your pay comes down. But if you work a few extra hours, you can probably make up the difference. I was like, thank you. So I can work more to make the same. Thank you so much.
Deuces.
Yeah. But I had to stay because I needed a job.
Yeah. Well, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Yeah.
And it just you gotta make ends meet.
Well, thank you so much for coming on my first show. And you're not, I just love, I'd like us just to have topics. And actually, today we literally talked a little bit about this and that, everything in between, which is just what I love to do.
Yes.
But we'll have some real topics that I'd love to get your opinion on.
Absolutely.
I love your opinion. You don't hold back, and that's why I love
No.
you.
As my mother said yesterday in the car to me, you're a very blunt person. I said, well, sorry, mother, that's just who I am. You gave birth to me, so I don't know what to tell you.
That's me. My filter as I get older is slowly going away, where I'm not scared to talk about things. I'm like, if someone can learn from my experience, then congrats.
And you know what? You can be the juiciest peach in the world, but there's going to be someone out there that doesn't like peaches. So just be you.
That's a perfect way to end the show. Perfect way. So
I'm so glad.
Yeah, I thank you so much for coming on, and
thank you for having
come
me
back many, many, many times because I want to.
Yes.
So, and we will just see you next time, everyone. Bye.
Bye.